If he's so athletic,
Yes.
and he's so violent, and he so effectively gets pressure, why didn't he ever sack a quarterback?
Now with the latest scouting reports, here's Shea Norling. Shea?
Today, Hoodie, I'm looking at Shamar Stewart, the pride of Texas A&M, where Myles Garrett went to school. And I say that because measurably, Shamar Stewart's in Myles Garrett territory. 6'5", 267 pounds, elite athleticism at the combine, checked in above the 90th percentile in virtually all of his drill work. That's what puts him in Myles Garrett territory. Let's get into the play, because there's more to this than being an athletic freak, as Anthony Richardson knows.
Take that!
That sometimes just isn't enough. Mm-hmm. The pros on tape, he's an incredible athlete. The way that as an edge, he's able to run stunts and twists in college, move laterally across the line, and find gaps that he can get through was fantastic. Versatility, plays multiple positions, can line up at either side of the line, occasionally in a gap. He can play standing up. He plays with a hand in the dirt. He's effective both ways. Pardon the expression. He's a violent edge rusher. Good hands, gets his hands on offensive linemen. Really good bull rush. He's powerful, and he gets pressures. Generated 39 pressures last season at A&M. Gets into the backfield a lot. That's where we get to the cons. If he's so athletic,
Yes.
and he's so violent, and he so effectively gets pressure, why didn't he ever sack a quarterback? 4.5 sacks in his college career, despite significant playing time and significant pass rush snaps. That's it.
How much was he in pass coverage?
Last year, 300 snaps pass rush, 3.5 sacks.
No, how much did he drop back and cover somebody out?
He didn't.
He did not.
No, he was a run stopper, a pass
Remember
rusher.
Leonard
That's about
Floyd would drop back in coverage for Georgia?
Yes. I did remember
He
that.
was so mobile.
But he was always around the pile, not the reason for it.
Correct.
Now, and again, I brought up 39 pressures. And the important thing, I think we hear this a lot now in NFL circles, it's pressures, it's not sacks. 39 pressures on over 300 pass rush snaps, about 12% of your pass rush snaps were pressures. Got to be higher than that. In college, it's got to be a little higher. And I need you to finish your pressures. I can't tell you how many times on film Shamar Stewart wows you getting into the backfield and a quarterback just escapes him. He's got really long routes once he gets around the offensive line. He takes the longest pathway to a quarterback. I think that hurts him in finishing plays. He feels like another project player. When offensive linemen do get their hands on him, he has no counter moves. It's a little bit like James Pierce Jr. A lot of speed, a lot of athleticism, relying on being the best athlete in college. Can't do that when you get to the pros. So that leads me to my question and opinion and a take Kap had earlier this week.
Yes.
This feels like Trayvon Walker. It feels like Tyree Wilson. A guy who combine time comes around and all of a sudden everybody's obsessed with them. They come out of nowhere. Trayvon Walker became the number 1 pick in the draft, went to Jacksonville. Bad rookie year. He's been great the last 2 double-digit sack seasons. Tyree Wilson flew up the draft boards. He stinks. He's not very good.
That's the guy we saw in the hallway walking. He could literally tie his shoes with his hands without bending over. And Shea and I are like, who the hell is that guy?
Yeah.
What a specimen.
Monster.
Yeah, absolute specimen, incredible athlete. Guy is not good at the Raiders. It's just not good. Which of these 2 prospects is Shamar Stewart? I have no idea. But here's my opinion, because Kap brought up GMs laughing about setting their draft boards and everybody going, oh, here's a guy that's rocketing up draft boards, and GMs laugh. That doesn't happen. Guys don't move around. I actually think that might be the case for Shamar Stewart. And this might be a media manufacturing thing where all the mock draft people and all the media people have made Shamar Stewart into a top 10 pick. We'll get to the draft. We'll have Mel Kiper on TV. Oh, Shamar Stewart's still available. I can't believe he's falling. He's still on board. He's still falling. He's available at 27. Why is he available at 27? You look at his tape from A&M. And GMs will be laughing. He's not falling. We never had him up where you did.
Correct.
That's usually how that works, yes. Now, it's a cautionary tale, Kap, because what Shea just laid out is the difference between combine numbers, what they saw at the combine, and college production. Because when we hear the Myles Garrett comp, they just see the size and the potential, but it's not anything that's tangible that Shea saw on tape or what was actually the case based on the numbers, right, Shea? I mean, so what I would say is the flashes are there, but it's inconsistent. I know that there's going to be some GM that says, and you know how you evaluators are, Cap, you're the same way, we'll clean them up. Look at the athleticism. But here's the question. What do you take in that spot? The athletic upside or the proven production? Because all I heard from you is the potential, not the actual production.
That's exactly right.
When you have all those numbers and ultimately you didn't get to the quarterback enough, one side would say, well, you had other talented players around you. The other side is, if you're trying to be a top 10 pick, you have to be the reason that you got to the quarterback.
Okay, so Shea, can you do a bonus scouting report for us? Jack Sawyer, Ohio State.
Sure. I watched him enough I could probably do it now. I watched a ton of Ohio State football.
So did I. And I love that kid, and I think he is one of those leaders in your room, and I think he's a really good player. But is he a second-round pick? Is he the 25th pick? Because he's certainly not top 10.
Yeah, and I haven't seen him go in first round pretty much anywhere. I'll tell you, the second-round edge rushers I like a lot.
Would
Jack
you draft
Sawyer,
him?
Probably. The guy I really like is Princely Umamielen out of Ole Miss, who it sounds like would be available early second round. I love him. He's a monster. He's an older player, 5-year senior. He's so good. Jumps off the tape.
Yeah, I love Jack Sawyer because I think he's the kind of guy that galvanizes your room. He's a leader, and he's a really good football player. I remember the Bears way back in the day. I'm at the draft coverage for the Vikings when I was in college. A bunch of our football teammates, we went. We're there, and remember Mike Lynn? He was the president and GM of the Vikings. Mm-hmm. And he's sitting there, and I believe they were the next pick. And the Bears are on the clock. It's like pick 40. Chicago selects Michael Singletary, linebacker, Baylor, and Mike Lynn took whatever was in front of him and threw it. He thought he was getting him. And Singletary's a Hall of Famer, but he was small. He's like 6 feet tall. Remember, he broke all those helmets tackling? Mm-hmm. But you never know who you get in the second round that they get a negative grade, height, the 40 time, whatever.
So are you out on actor Shamar Moore or not?
Shamar Stewart.
Wow. What's that?
I can't say I'm out. I think it's a 50-50 chance. It's up to Ryan Poles. If you feel like you can flip the coin on upside and you believe that you can develop him into an elite pass rusher, I'm kind of okay with it. But it is a massive risk. And I just watching him, Hoodie, like people get on Mason Graham. I think he had 3.5 sacks his senior year. And they're like, well, how can you like this guy? Pop the tape on, please, and watch how many plays he disrupted. Watch how many plays couldn't finish because Mason Graham was on the field.
So
that's not the case with Shamar Stewart.
So, Tommy, what I would say is that at 10, if you're going to stay at 10, I'd rather have the proven commodity as much as possible than what I would consider a gamble at 10, because just based on the numbers and everything with Stewart, are the Bears in a position to tutor and foster along someone like Stewart, or would you rather have something that you can say, I can plug and play, and this guy won't have to have so many necessary steps to get there?
Yeah, he's not my cup of tea. I had the same response to watching the tape as Shea did. He's a great athlete, but at some point, and I think you made the statement, Jonathan, the production has to meet the potential.
Yeah.
Well, you played with a guy like that, John Theory.
Yes, no question.
Unbelievable at the combine.
Yeah, I think John eventually found his way and did have some moderate production, some modest production. I heard the same comparison, Shea, with Myles Garrett to Stewart. Myles Garrett had 32.5 sacks in 3 years at Texas A&M, guys. Like, let's not even go there. This kid may be in the same category with regard to being an athlete and the same type of athlete. I don't know how many career sacks Stewart had. I think he had 1 last year.
4.5 career sacks.
Again, Miles Garrett had 32 and a half career
Didn't-
sacks in 3 years at Texas A&M.
Didn't he have 13 and a half in his senior season?
No, I
Something
think
ridiculous like that?
I think, you know what, I had it. He had 2 of the 3 years it was double digits, which is kind of hard to do sometimes, guys, because A, you're getting double teamed, B, you're only playing 11 or 12 games, not 17, the way they are in the NFL. So I think that's one of the problems I think I have looking at the film with some of the pass rushers. There's a lot of potential. There's a lot of guys that really have athletic characteristics, but the production just isn't what you would want it to be to draft one of these guys at 10. And I think this kid fills that, that fits into that category. But again, look, who knows? You rotate guys. Georgia's just like, Georgia's the modern day, Philadelphia Eagles or the collegiate version of the Eagles. They have so many talented guys. You look at their production, and it's not what it would be if they were playing, each of the guys was playing 85, 90% of the snaps.
All right, Waddle Wednesday will commence momentarily on the Kap and J Hood Morning Show presented by ESPN.